Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody expanding after that full moon? 'Twas such a fun day, wasn't it? Oh my God, I tried to jam so much in. I'm surprised I'm still alive. I mean, oh my God, I watched Kimmy Schmidt today to just laugh, and I love the hell out of the writing in that. It's the best writing. Like, who is, like, never mind, it'll come back to, whenever I try to remember names and I'm tired, I just absolutely can't. Oh, Tina Fey is the writer and producer, and she started that show, and she loves the frame, like, they're sitting there talking, and she's like, oh, I don't think so, you busted ass hoe, and I just die laughing. And they have this, if you guys can watch Kimmy Schmidt and you have Netflix, watch season 4, episode 4 today. I just clicked on any episode, and Kimmy Schmidt is my alter ego. She was in a bunker, held captive for almost her whole teenage years by John Hamm with other women, and then she comes out and is set free and let loose on New York, and she's a nut job, eternally hopeful spirit with just crazy, oh my God, adventures with her roommate and her insane oh, I can't explain it, but if you want to just laugh and feel great, watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Like, Tina Fey just knocked it out of the ballpark with that. So anyway, today I thought after this, and we're all recovering from some of that amazing manifestation energy, I'm going to do a pick a card spread with what signals am I sending out there? Because inadvertently, every time we move, look, or speak, we send out signals to the opposite sex and to other people of our same sex. We don't even know that we're doing it. It's simply gestures, how we move, and some of it's, you know, quite lecherous, and some of it's quite innocent. But people, when I started studying just years ago, looking at body language and stuff, I wasn't aware that people that are highly sexed will, especially men, will stand closer, push their hips towards you, put their thumbs in their belt loops. They leave their mouth a little bit open, and they lean in toward you, almost like they're ready to come in for a kiss, and all these things. So they all send signals. And of course, if you have your arms crossed across your chest, your lips closed tightly, your eyes squinting, all those things, is that screams shut off, and please don't talk to me and get the hell away from me before I karate chop you right in the ball sack. You've seen those people, right? They're like resting bitch face. Is frightening, because it's like, I found everyone is saying too, how do I feel lighter and cleaner? And in my courses and stuff, I'm actually showing them facial expressions and body gestures you can do to trick your brain into thinking it's in a good mood. And you do. And then, because it's taught this grid factor of gestures and movements, you actually become in a good mood. Like, I force myself, if I'm in a computer glitch too long and I'm getting mad, I just smile. Instantly, my neck, my back, and my shoulders relax. Then I start thinking better thoughts, which start clearing the house upstairs. Then it just escalates into just fun stuff. And then, you know, I automatically reach for comedy. Like, I love Tina Fey, that whole crew, and I love to laugh, and it heals your body so much of tenseness, you know what I mean? And like, make a ball up a fist, not on-ball it, so you loosen up your hands, because what happens is we start to tense up and we don't even know we're doing. Let me get my baby boy. Hi, Edward. Happy after full moon. Yeah, today was such a great day. I got to do some course work and tape some of that for people, because people, now that they're manifesting, you actually will go through a phase as you're going up a ladder, you know, those lofty heights, and still a little fear, because what happens is once you get results and things you want, the next aspect, unfortunately, can be fear, because we don't want to lose that propulsion into that bigger, better place where we're succeeding. You know what I mean? It's like, when you become wealthy, if you buy a house, cars, and all that, what's the first thing that comes in? Oh my gosh, I have to maintain this, because if I don't, I could lose all my property and all my belongings, right? So we don't ever want to let fear in there, because like attracts like, unfortunately. And if we come from a place of fear, things start to dissipate and disappear, and it's the opposite of what we want, of drawing things into us, for sure. Because when you're happy and light, you don't think, oh my goodness, what if my dog dies, right? You don't think about that. You don't buy a puppy and go, oh my God, I love it so much, you can never die. You know what I mean? But when you start to accumulate things and you get used to them, and you're a creature comfort, and you have the things you like, This is my one thing. If I buy a really nice jacket or blouse or something like that, a lot of people have this, oh my gosh, this has to be dry clean. I must care for it, right? If it needs special care. But shit happens in life. We eat and we spill stuff on our clothes, right? So it's like, yeah, we have to hold on to things lightly. Things are not what's important here. What's important is the people in our lives. That's why, and I've always said this, and if you guys can remember to do this, I'm telling you, it's going to make your family life and your husband, wife, girlfriend, anybody so much more relaxed if there is ever a what I call a natural accident. It's something that you don't have intention behind. If you break something of someone else's or they break something of yours, remember to act like, who really cares? It's only an item, and they didn't do it intentionally. Hell yeah, if they picked up Edward and smashed him to the floor, I'd be mad. But if my daughter or son or husband knocked him off a shelf, even my cat, and it exploded and smashed, I've never been one to get crazy about that because there's not an intention behind it. Nobody's trying to smash Edward to the floor. He simply got knocked over by accident. And if you start coming from that avenue, and being forgiving for something that someone has an accident, people are human, you know, they're trying their best. They try their best. So they feel bad enough when something gets broken in their mind and heart anyway, and fear comes in from that too. It's just an instilled childhood reaction, like, you know, when you break something of your parents and they overreact. Think how scared you get even as an adult when you break something precious, even though you don't mean to, right? It is that Pavlovian response with, oh shit, my mom or dad's going to be mad because I broke this thing. So have a warm, open heart when that happens to a family member or friend. If something of yours gets, you know, inadvertently broken, like, or, you know, even sometimes people put things on the hood of other people's cars and it scratches it, things like that. I've seen that at work, and I've seen workmates go crazy. That person is not trying to purposely harm your personal items. So just be chill about that, because then everybody gets uptight and it solves zero, right? It doesn't undo the damage, no. So this is really cool. So this is how we're going to be aware of the signals we're sending out too. So this is, what signals am I sending out? Over here we have abalone on number 1, we have adventurine on number 2, and we have turquoise on number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Let's give Edward a shake. I'll move him out of the way so we get more room to operate in. Yeah, it's all about, you know, just expanding our hearts and our minds and making other people feel comfortable in themselves. That's my definition of elegance for people, where, you know, people don't feel like they have to self-check and evaluate everything they're doing because they feel they're being judged, or fear they're going to break something. You ever go in that person's house and they're like, can you take your shoes off, and can you please not touch anything, and can you please wear this mask? It's like all those things where you feel suffocated and you feel crazy. There's this English show that makes me laugh so hard, and she's like Mrs. Bouquet, and her neighbor always spills her tea and breaks things in her house because she's such a nervous wreck because this woman is breathing down her neck about everything. And you are giving off energy and signals when you do that. So just be aware, if you're laid back and your arms are at your side and you're just in a natural stance, you're not hovering. People don't like to be hovered over. It makes them nervous. It makes them feel rushed and they don't even know why. Hands on hips, that's another thing. It's a subliminal thing of a disapprovement or hurry up with what you're doing. It's a strange thing. There's all kinds of things. So let's see for number 1 what signals we're putting out. I hope you all had a good, ooh, the world, hooray, the world, very nice. Ooh, and the Empress. That's funny because I had both of these on an earlier read for a client, and I shuffled the dogs the day out of these things and they all popped right back up. So this is weird. Yeah, I find I will get a series of cards a lot as well because it's just the energy that's around and it's what people are projecting and they're picking up. I'm just going to have a sip of this because I was speaking a lot today. All right, so some of the signals you're putting out is just pretty damn good because you're very relaxed and earthy and calm, and when you enter a room, you're not that aggressive type that is, you know, blazing through everybody like tra-la-la, look at me, da-da-da-da-da. But you're also not timid and shy. You have a very relaxed nature about you. You have a nice gait. Like, don't you know whose walk is fabulous? It's like John Travolta's in all his films. I just always loved the way he walked. It's very self-assured, very original. That's something I observe so closely is how people walk. I just think it's very interesting. Some people do little shuffles. Some people do insane strides like they're trying to run. I'm a very fast, purposeful walker. And sometimes when I'm with my friends that are just chilling and trying to relax, especially if they're wearing flip-flops or high heels, I have to slow my roll because I legit want to get to where I'm going. And I almost look like a stormtrooper. I'm like, jump, 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 jump. Especially my chill friends, and it's funny. Also be aware too, you are the opposite of a foot dragger, but for you people out there that drag your heels and your feet, I can't tell you how many people that I've asked, does that bother you when that happens? And people go, yeah. If my friend, boyfriend, or whatever is dragging their feet, they think it's like slovenly, lazy. It sends a message that you're too tired to pick up your own feet. It's a weird thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many people tell me that's a pet peeve. I remember my girlfriends when we do our mom's group with all our kids, and they would all be like, oh my God, if she drags her feet one more time. It really is something that is like, it's not that hard to pick up your feet, but it's a huge distraction to others. But you also have, this is neat. The signals you also put out is that you can, and you probably do quite often, multitask, but you do it well. You're not doing it to the degree that the other crap is falling by the wayside because you're trying to do too much. But yeah, you can definitely do more than one thing and do it well, and keep your focus on it, which is really cool. And also the signals you set out is don't get too close to me. I am an empress, and people have a spatial arena. They're not even aware of it, and some people, you don't care if they step into that. Usually it's relatives and close friends. Strangers, you feel a little weird if they're within 2 feet of your personal space. If you can feel their breath on your face, most people feel uncomfortable, and they will take a step back. They don't even know they're doing it. It's just one of those defense mechanisms, like somebody's in your spatial arena. But yeah, the signals you put out, and here's another thing too. When you're speaking, I like the fact that a lot of people are becoming more aware of their vocal capabilities, and they're not using their hands. You're one of those people you've learned you don't devalue by what you're saying by putting your hand in front of your face. A lot of women used to do that, and I used to tell them at work, I can't hear what you're saying, and you're basically saying what you're saying is not important because you're trying to cover it up. You don't have the courage of your conviction in your words, and they feel like it's not going to be received well. And because it's also, it doesn't get the attention it deserved because it's muffled. And I feel like you're one of those people that you're climbing that awareness ladder, and you realize that there is a way you can hold yourself, that people hold you in higher regard because you value yourself and you're showing others. Yeah, we teach each other how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves and the way we carry ourselves. It's very important. So yeah, you've got it together and you have good posture. That's another thing I cannot stipulate enough. When people are hunched over and they don't make eye contact, it's saying they don't really want to engage with you 100%. You know what I mean? All right, whoa, what's going here? What are the signals that you are sending out? Oh, that makes my back like so relaxed when I do big breaths. Sometimes I have to remember to do that. I'm going to push these down so they're a little closer. Okay, now, just rest my hand here a sec. I like this imagery because the signals you're setting out really is don't bother me when I'm hard at work. And here's why. I mean, it's interesting. Well, of course, death is always good to lead off. Yeah, it is sending out the thing, don't bother me when I'm hard at work. If I'm doing emails, if I'm looking down at things, please don't interrupt me. I have a job to do and finish. And you drop those old habits that don't behoove you or help you anymore either, which is fantastic. Some people learn as they go, and I'm definitely a learner as I go because I don't like to waste time and I don't like to inflict pain on myself. Like lots of times I would sit, stand, or hunch while I was doing stuff just to get the job done because I make jewelry, and I would be in very uncomfortable positions, and then things would get all cramped up. Then I would learn for that, and I would shift and move things around and exercise and stretch and not be in the same place, because you literally can get that tunnel vision, like I have to finish this, I have to do this, you know what I mean? And you are changing those ways, and each time you're developing a new way to do that. And the signals you do send out are, I'm on a mission, please excuse me for a moment while I complete what I'm completing, or I will trample the hell out of you. I do that sometimes. I used to do that at work, especially if it was around people that I didn't really hold in high regard because they weren't doing work anyway, but because they saw that I was, it's not like they want to spring traps or derail you. They just think on a it's a social thing. You know those people that go to work and they think they're just there to chat and gossip, talk on their phones and stuff like that and ignore customers? There's nothing more disheartening than going to a place and really need help, especially at a customer service desk, and they can't be bothered because they're doing whatever the F they want. And here's another thing. You're a little daydreamy. The signals you send out there is you're dreaming of your future, and you're quite intense about it. I mean, when you're in that thought process, you can literally just transport to another place. When you're building your castles in the sky and thinking about, you know, where you want to go vacation, whatever it is, all those things, you literally can place yourself there completely. And you can tune out people. They can talk to you, and you've got to snap out of it, and you're like, what? So the signals you are sending out is like, you are a hard worker and you're focused, and people understand that and they respect that, and they should wait till you finish doing whatever piece of work that you're trying to complete. They see you a little bit as intimidating because you don't put up with crap. You know, you're carrying a load. You're carrying a mental load. You're carrying a workload because you set the bar high and you want to finish what you're doing. You know what I mean? You don't want to be distracted and talking about a bunch of crap by people that don't want to work. They're like, yeah, it's definitely doable. I can do this. You know, this sort of sequence indicates that you're perceiving the truth about your own power. You know what I mean? You know you're not weak or ineffectual. You know the situation you're in is not overwhelming you, that you're always going to have a successful outcome because you're vibrating on a higher focal level. You want to reach your goal, and the main thing that you put out there is determined. You have a lot of determination, and that's lovely because a lot of people can be so wishy-washy. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Oh yeah, I'll do that. That sounds good. That sounds nice. But yet they don't really quantify what they want, and they don't move in that direction. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of have to relax into a meditative state and get your mind focused on what you want. You have like a visual stairwell, which is really cool. And then when you reach the top, again, you kind of reach your own personal symbol of what's going to represent you, and you work on that higher plane. So if that's you, that's fantastic. Now if you're chiming out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I really, really enjoy your comments, you guys. They're fantastic. They're very helpful to get new topics, and all my information is down below. All my links are down below. Read or further clarification on anything. And I now just started Instantgo thing for like quick one questions, because what happens as we evolve and we start to get these answers, this is a fun mix. Ooh, you gotta love that. You're starting to evolve, and a little bit of fear can come in, like I said earlier, because nobody wants to lose what the ground they've already gained. You know what I mean? And defend your ground. Also, defend your boundaries. That's a new thing that keeps coming around. Defend the hell out of those boundaries. Don't waste energy on people, places, or things that simply do not serve you anymore. They're taking up rent in a very important building, which is your brain. You don't need them in there. And that's super important for this group that chose this. I mean, look at this with the Tower, with the Seven of Swords, and then also karma. Okay, I like this because this is what you're putting out there. Guess what? Nobody is going to pull one over on me, because I will rip this place to the ground, to the foundation, to find out what the truth is. The truth is a truth is a truth, even if everybody thinks it's a lie, and vice versa. A lie is a lie is a lie, even if everybody thinks it's a truth. You're seen as a truth seeker too. You know a sneaky bastard, because this is a sneaky bastard card. This is the guy that will win at any cost, and it's a shallow victory. They sneak away like a slimy little rat, and they drop shit all behind him. As you see, the swords are dropped in the field behind him because he's so quick trying to get away. So the signals you set out is, don't mess with me, because I will come for you, and so will karma. Karma's my bitch, and we're gonna come on a gilded pony, and we're gonna finish this off. I feel this very strongly for you guys. You believe in what's right and what's fair, and you set off that vibe like, hey, I read you. You have high emotional intelligence. You know by people's eye contact, the way they move around you. I call it if they dance to the music they're playing. It's the same thing of walking their walk and talking their talk. Some people are very two-sided and two-faced because they want accolades that they didn't earn themselves. They basically are thieves of other people's intellectual property. Yeah, anybody who says something, you know, they'll come back and be like, oh, I have this idea. It was never their own idea. They lack originality, and you, the signal you give off is, that's fine, but I already know that you're full of shit, and just stay out of my lane or I'm coming for you. Me and Karma going do 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 do. Yeah, so people are a little like in awe of your ability to do that. That nobody is going to dupe you, and that nobody is going to pull one over on you, because you have extreme emotional intelligence, and that's beautiful. And I love people that'll just rip stuff down. That's why I was telling everybody to watch Kimmy Schmidt's earlier, because the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, because she's so funny, but she looks so sweet and everything, but she can't stand injustice, or liars, or any of those things shows. So she goes ballistic, even though she was locked in a bunker with John Hamm for decades or whatever. She's incredibly strong because she used to have to crank this thing for electricity underground. It's so stupid. It's hilarious. And Tina Fey's the writer and producer, and it is so funny. I love it. Whenever I can't understand my reality anymore because it's too much, I just start watching it and I laugh, and then I ground out because it's so beautiful and silly. But yeah, I mean, and also I feel like you guys have a lot of guardian divine guidance. I was gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm getting tired. I'm getting cross-referenced in my brain. So you're a guardian of the galaxy, and you and Groot are going to go on a little journey, so have fun with that. No, again, nobody's going to be slick around you, or they're going to pay, and they're going to pay karmically, and that's not going to be too fun for them. That's so funny. All right, you guys, a lot of love and light. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and if you need any more information, don't forget to click to my links below. And thank you guys for being so cool and being so informative. When you send me your personal read information, it's really helpful. And even the pictures, it's really great, so I can devise a full scheme operation for you there. Okay, so peace out, you guys. Have a good one.